My name is Sonia Teach, and I help teachers to start and grow a profitable online tutoring business. So, my aim is to help them make more money by working less hours.
Where were you before Video Strategy Academy when it came to video and figuring out your content?
Well, it was interesting because it was right when the pandemic hit, and I had just saw a huge spike in my subscriber count, and I met the monetization requirements, and all these things were happening. But it was like my business was seeing more traction than I was prepared to handle, I guess. So it seemed like a good thing, but it was also like, oh my gosh, this is so overwhelming. So I had found you before and saw your YouTube workflow and everything. And that's kind of how I initially got in is there was a bundle that you were a part of. So I bought your YouTube workflow because I was like, I need a system. If I'm going to keep up with this and be consistent with YouTube, I need some sort of system to create videos. That was when I was like, okay, this is good. This is the time that I'm going to really start taking this more seriously and actually invest in my YouTube channel.
So, what would you say the biggest struggle was with your video content? Like, you weren't sure how your video was going to feed your business, or what was kind of that piece that you really felt you needed to figure out?
I think the biggest struggle was that I didn't have a system in place to actually produce the videos, plan the videos. So it was just the idea of trying to be consistent with YouTube wasn't really possible until I got your YouTube workflow, and then it was all broken down how to go through the entire process. It just made it a lot easier. And I think that's when I first started using Asana, and I was like, wow, this is a game changer.
And then what did you hope, or what did you really want video to do for your business once you knew you had those systems in place? What was your thought that video was going to do for your business?
I really wanted to be able to have it be a lead generation source. And it is now I've started tracking when people buy my products and join my Facebook group. I'll ask them, oh, how did you find me? 9 times out of 10 they say YouTube. Most of my clients find me through YouTube. So it's incredible. It's led to so many customers and clients.
What ultimately made you decide to invest in Video Strategy Academy? What kind of gave you that, oh, this is the place for me?
I think I really wanted to have a community. And I guess a big part now that I'm remembering back to that is that my coach at the time, Lindsay Maloney, specifically recommended you. So I think having that actual referral of oh, somebody I trust and admire is telling me that this is the person, the go-to person for YouTube. So that's kind of where I was like, okay, so if I'm really going to take this seriously, this is the person I'm going to work with.
When you got started with VSA, how long did it take you to start to see a change, or that moment when you were like, oh, wow, this is actually working? How long did that take?
I think I probably saw changes right away because I feel like it wasn't just in the growth of my YouTube channel, because there was a lot of growth in my YouTube channel, but also just in my attitude towards YouTube and how to use YouTube. Because I mentioned, I had met the monetization requirements, and then I was all about getting excited about ad revenue, and then it didn't go through. They weren't reviewing applications during COVID, so I was so devastated. And then you actually told me hey, that's not the biggest thing to get ad revenue. You can make money other ways. So I think that was a big deal for me to have that realization and be oh, maybe how can I use this as a tool to generate income in other methods? And that one comment that you told me, just I feel like it changed everything, because it really helped me prioritize on how do I use this as a tool, an avenue to start generating income on my own.
Then once you started thinking about it differently and you realized, oh, I could get clients from YouTube, how quickly did you get a client from YouTube then once you went down that avenue?
Honestly, they came all the time. I guess I don't know. I can't say I don't know this, or if there was a certain I didn't track how quickly it happened, but it came pretty much as soon as I changed my attitude towards it. I was seeing that people were coming directly from my YouTube channel.
Are there any like specific results or wins that you could totally tie back to YouTube, be it, your confidence or you've seen X amount of subscribers or views or new clients specifically from YouTube?
I guess like what I like kind of what I mentioned before, I think the
Mhm.
biggest win was just realizing that ad revenue isn't everything. Like
Mhm.
it's not like so many people are really caught up with like meeting the requirements, making ad revenue, but it's like it can be so much more than that. And I think having that realization and uh readjusting in my focus to focus on how do I use this as a tool to like send traffic to my email list and then ultimately to like my paid products. Um, I think that I really am thankful to VSA for that. And also just having like a community of supportive
Mhm.
people, because I am like such a community oriented person that I really like desire that. So being able to have a source of like people to ask questions to, or when I'm like, there's so many times where I'm like, oh, I'm not motivated. And then I'll like go into BSA and like someone will give me like a pump up like advice. And I'm like, okay, I can keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask, what is your favorite part? Is it obviously the community, any of the resources, templates, guest experts? I mean, we've got a lot of stuff in there. So, what would you say is kind of like, other than the community, that you love showing up in VSA for?
I really, well, this is kind of community sort of, but like I really like the weekly calls. I like
Mhm.
having that like accountability and that like regular touch point with you every week. It's like I look forward to it every week, just seeing everybody and having that access to you. I feel like that's worth like so much like value, like like even like way more than the cost of the program is. Like the fact that you offer weekly group coaching to us is huge.
What would you say to somebody who's on the fence about Video Strategy Academy? They're not sure if the investment is going to be worth it or if it's worth their time. What would you say to that person?
I guess I could think back to things I've already told people
Yeah.
because I've already like referred people to VSA, like told people to join. I think it's 100% worth it because you'll make your money back, because the whole concept is that you're using it as like an avenue to generate income in your business, to get clients, to sell your services and products. So I feel like the um, like you just have to have faith that you're going to make that money back by growing your channel and learning how to use it as like a lead generation source.
How has Video Strategy Academy changed you or your business? Like, where are you now because of Video Strategy Academy, or where is your business now because of Video Strategy Academy?
I think that my business, I'm just way more consistent on YouTube. I'm not posting like every single week, but I'm creating content that is actually like people, somebody made a video about my channel a couple weeks ago. Like he didn't ask my permission or anything. He was just like, oh, this is an example of a YouTuber that's like, using their YouTube channel to like make money or whatever. And even he, being this like random person, like assessed my like offers and everything, and like looked at my YouTube channel and was like, you can see how all her content is answering questions that her potential clients have. Like she's solving problems for her clients. So I think that that was huge, is just like making the content less about me, and also making sure that I'm not making content that's attracting the wrong people. Because when I first hit like my channel first grew, it grew because a video about free online teaching tools went viral. So it was like cool, but it was like all the wrong people because
Mhm.
they were like looking for free stuff, not people that were looking to like seriously start a business. So I think like VSA helped me like create content that was relevant to like like paying customers and clients, that they would be questions that they would have and problems that they would be facing, that I could help solve for them.
Is there any last things that you would like to say to anybody out there that is trying to decide if Video Strategy Academy is right for them?
I think it's like so much worth so much more than like what you charge for it. Like I mean, it's so worth the investment, because like you get the Facebook community, you get the weekly calls, there's guest experts, there's all the templates, like you're constantly updating the materials and making sure that things are relevant, and you just make the whole process of using YouTube easier. And that's like how I've grown my business. and made money off of my business and, hit 5 figures last year for the first time is like having that support. So yeah, I think they should totally go for it.